Hi guys, in this video session what I'm going to look at is the solution for graded discussion number 2. Now in this particular discussion, on this particular question, what we see here is that evidence accumulated that the use of chemical fertilizers, which increases agricultural production, greatly damages water quality. So therefore you are to explain in words how you would draw a production possibility curve to depict this and why a curve would have a particular shape. Also, in what ways does the production possibilities curve reflect scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost? How would an improved fertilizer that increased agricultural output without worsening water quality affect the curve? So, in essence, you would require to explain in words how you would draw your production possibility curve. So what I want to tell you is this. We know in this particular example that the two goods that we're going to see on the axis of our production possibility curve is going to be agricultural goods and good water. Alright, because that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the fact that every time we produce agricultural goods utilizing the initial fertilizer, it reduces the supply of good water quality. So the two goods we're going to be looking at would be the quantity of agricultural goods and the quantity of good water. Now you realize that my production possibility curve is bowed shape outwards. Why did I choose this particular curve? Well, it's simple. If each time I increase my production of agricultural goods, let's say from point A to point B, and then from point B to point C, I realize that I'm losing a little bit more of good water quality. And we know that we will lose a little bit more of good water quality because each time we increase our production of agricultural goods utilizing the initial fertilizer, that fertilizer corrupts the water supply, the good water supply, creating now bad water. So therefore the quantity of good water doesn't just fall, but it falls in larger and larger amounts each time. So each of these brackets below here represents the loss in good water. So we can see therefore that you first initially lost of the smallest green bracket, then this larger bracket, and a larger bracket, and a larger bracket, and then the largest bracket. And remember, each bracket represents the loss in supply of good water quality, or in other words, it represents the sacrifice of good water quality. And again, another synonym would therefore be opportunity cost. Because remember, opportunity cost looks at what we give up in order to choose another good. So in this case here, we have chosen to increase production of our agricultural goods from point A straight across to point F, which results in us giving up or sacrificing or incurring an opportunity cost that gets larger and larger each time. And therefore, this particularly shaped production possibility frontier which displays increasing opportunity cost, is consistent with our discussion question. Now, it is revealed therefore that a new type of fertilizer is being utilized. And if a new type of fertilizer is being utilized, and the question goes on to say that this fertilizer no longer pollutes the water supply. Okay, so this new fertilizer will result in an even greater expansion in agricultural goods throughout, and it will ultimately result in an expansion of good water quality because it is not going to damage the current water supply. So, as a result, what we would see with the introduction of the new fertilizer, which we can say is technological advancements in the field of agriculture, which results in not just agricultural goods expanding, but also in the quantity of good water expanding because it's no longer going to be polluted. It can only be represented by an outward shift an outward shift in our production possibility frontier. And we see therefore that both agricultural goods and good water experiences an expansion in its output because of the introduction of this new fertilizer that does not pollute the water supply. Okay, so this is the nature of the solution. This is the nature of the discussion that students needed to have engaged in for this particular question. So I hope it was clear. I hope that the diagram and how it was supposed to be drawn and what goods on which axis should have been utilized was clear to all. Alright, so continue to revisit the video as much times as you need if you still require clarity. Or you can submit your question on the forums and I will respond to it. Thank you and take care.